In a remarkable interview, Stephen Miller, a senior advisor to former President Donald Trump, has reignited a highly controversial claim that the Arctic island of Greenland should rightfully become part of the United States. Miller, known for his sharp rhetoric from the Trump administration, made these striking remarks on American television, sparking significant concern across European nations. Appearing on CNN, Miller declared that Greenland, an autonomously governed territory belonging to Denmark, should be part of the United States of America. He argued, "The USA is the determining power in NATO. It is surely clear that Greenland should therefore be part of the states." When pressed on whether the US would use force, Miller initially laughed it off. However, his subsequent comments quickly shifted to a thinly veiled threat. No one will militarily challenge the USA when it comes to the future of Greenland. This assertion has been widely interpreted as a direct warning. This isn't the first instance of the United States expressing interest in Greenland. Former President Trump himself had repeatedly mentioned buying the island. The aggressive posturing was further fueled by a social media post from Miller's wife, sharing a map of Greenland colored with the American flag, accompanied by the single word, "soon." This unsettling message immediately raised alarms in Denmark and across Europe, understood as a direct threat of annexation. Reactions from Greenland and Denmark have been swift and firm. Jens Frederik Nielsen, the Prime Minister of Greenland, strongly condemned the aggressive signals. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen warned that an attack on a NATO partner would effectively spell the end of the military alliance. She called on the United States to cease its threats against a historic ally, deeming the notion of the US taking control of Greenland absolutely absurd. Frederiksen underscored the gravity, asserting a US attack would mean everything is over for NATO and post-World War II security. Concerns echoed across the European Union, with German and French government spokespersons emphasizing that borders must not be moved by force and territories must not be forcibly annexed. They added that Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders and the Danes, and they alone decide about it. Yet, Stephen Miller remains undeterred. He openly questioned Denmark's legal claim to Greenland, asking, "What right does Denmark actually have to control Greenland? On what basis do they lay claim to the Greenlandic territory? What is actually the basis for them considering Greenland a Danish colony?" He asserted this as the formal position of the second Trump administration. Miller's rhetoric aligns with a broader American foreign policy doctrine. The recent intervention in Venezuela, which saw the ousting of Nicolás Maduro, is cited as a precedent for US assertion of control. This aggressive approach is rooted in the historical Monroe Doctrine, aiming for American geopolitical dominance. Former President Trump even adopted the term Donroe Doctrine, a blend of Donald and Monroe, viewing any activity outside the American sphere of influence that runs counter to United States interests as malicious, and envisaging the global enforcement and defense of United States national security interests. The prospect of the United States attempting to annex Greenland, a democratic territory of a NATO ally, represents a severe challenge to international law and global stability. As former President Trump himself cryptically remarked on Sunday, "Let us talk about Greenland in 20 days." The world watches to see how this escalating geopolitical standoff will unfold. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. This video was generated using artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more updates. See you next time.